Hello everyone. Today I'm doing a new thing here, something that I think will probably become a regular feature of the channel. We've been just doing a lot of experimenting and just kind of throwing up whatever we felt like making at the time. But this I think it's a pretty good idea, a pretty fun idea, and so I think it's going to become a regular feature of the channel. And what it is it's going to be called War Stories. And it's just going to be little stories about kind of fun or cool things that have happened to me or my friends while playing tabletop games. There might be things like Infinity and, pen and paper games like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. It's not going to be all Warhammer 40K, although this first one will be. So yeah, I think this is going to be a regular feature. I think it's going to be fun. And it's the stories, and then I've just kind of pounded out some quick illustrations, some quick drawings kind of depicting what's happened in those stories, because it's just for fun, and I think it should be nice, hopefully. So let's get started. The first story is something that happened about a month ago, maybe. It was before 8th edition had hit the shelves, and it was kind of the last time I played 7th edition. And I was playing against a guy who was playing as Blood Angels, and I was playing as Sisters of Battle for the very first time I had ever tried playing that army. I had had some very mixed luck while playing, but particularly towards the end it was not very good. And we were on the last turn of the game. And my opponent got within charging range of a full squad of Battle Sisters I had, with a pretty good sized squad of Death Company. It was probably about 13 in all, including a chaplain. Now, yeah, we'd killed a few on the way in, but not nearly enough. For anyone who doesn't play or isn't familiar, Space Marines in general, and including Blood Angels, are these giant 8-foot or 9-foot tall supermen, and Death Company are a group of them that has gone completely insane and gone into a blood frenzy. So there were these giant blood-crazed supermen, a large group of them charging a slightly smaller group of nuns in armor with guns, which, Battle Sisters are nice, but they were a little outclassed there. So he got the charge on us, and combat went about how you would expect it to go. They hit first because they were a little faster, and they had a lot of attacks, so many attacks. I think it was like 5 each, thanks to all their special rules. So it was a big slaughter. I lost every Battle Sister except the Sister Superior, the squad leader. And the only reason she really should not have survived either. I rolled pretty dang good for my armor saves. So yeah, the Sister Superior was alive, got to attack back, did nothing, which wasn't entirely a surprise. And I'm like, oh, dang, well, one survived, though. That's pretty cool. And then, of course, my opponent says, well, now you got to take a morale check. Now, again, for anyone who doesn't play or isn't familiar, a morale check in Warhammer 40K, when you lose close combat, and there's a couple other situations, but when you lose close combat, you have to roll 2 6-sided dice to see if whoever you have left that survived the combat runs away or not, to see if they panic and run away. Basically, your character, your models have a leadership stat, and you roll the 2 6-sided dice, and you have to get equal or under the leadership, or they run away, or they try to run, because then the other squad that beats you tries to catch them, and you both roll off. You add your initiative, and if they catch you, you're just dead. And so they were a little faster than me, so there was a good chance they would catch me. And to make it even better, since we were so far into my deployment zone, I was about 5 inches away from the table edge, which is where you run towards. And if I were to run off the table edge, it would basically be the same thing. The Sister Superior, this would be good as dead. Now the thing is, so I was getting ready to roll. I was like, well, I have decent leadership, and then he reminded me, oh, and you're at minus. You lost by 9. You lost combat by 9, so you're at minus 9 to your leadership. Which was my whole leadership basically. But I could still not run. There was one chance to not run, and that was if I rolled double ones. Because you roll double ones, you get something called insane bravery, which basically means you never run, regardless of what your leadership is, how many negative modifiers you have to it. Your model will hold and stay in combat. So I had a 1 in 36 chance of my Sister Superior not running. So I roll the dice, and Snake Eyes. You might have seen this coming from the title of the video, or just because it wouldn't be nearly as good a story if I didn't get that double ones. But I did. I rolled double ones. The Sister Superior did not run. And the reason this was so awesome, it was the last round of combat of the last turn of the game. Now, if we'd gone for another round of combat, that one surviving battle, Sister Superior would not have stood a chance. There's just no way. She would have been killed very, very quickly and done nothing. But because she held her ground in the last round of combat, I denied a victory point to my opponent for that combat. And basically all those models they killed amounted to nothing. Now, the only way this story could have been cooler was if that one victory point had made the difference and caused me to win the game. But it didn't. I still lost.